Hey yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis Rick here, bringing you the update we got almost a week ago, but has and will probably be the hugest update of the year. Of course, I'm talking about the Origins update. With it came some much anticipated facelift to the world map and subsequent questing system, one of the most game-changing, and maybe not in a good way, package sales, and maybe most pivotal in most people's minds, the coveted swap system. I'm sorry this video didn't come sooner, but as much as I wanted to make this video, I maybe more so wanted to become a pro Aradian. More on that in a bit. Anyway guys, I'm Aegis Rick, and let me introduce you to the Origins update. Now, don't let this video length fool you. I've attempted to keep this video short for my own sake, but in doing so, I feel like I may not be giving this update enough justice. It is massive, and I am not kidding when I projected it to easily be the biggest update of the year. If you haven't played DFO in a while, then there is a lot to explore and experiment with here, even if it's just for that. There's a lot of things I will not cover, so I implore you to peruse the actual patch notes on this one. For instance, a lot of characters got some rebalancing, and most all for the better. Kunoichi and Witch got remade basically, and classes like Demon Slayer and Female Launcher got incredibly buffed. Sign in to find out all of those intricacies. Speaking about signing in, as you won't be able to avoid it, we've now got to make an Explorer Club name. Basically what it boils down to is an account name. This name will appear in green above all of your characters on your account, and is a way to distinguish yourself even while signed into alts. This Explorer Club name can also be friended with others, so it makes it easier to tell when a person is online. This was a feature I feel kind of dumb for not realizing that we needed, but a very welcome addition. Just keep in mind that unlike your character name, this name cannot be changed after it's selected, so choose wisely. As alluded to earlier, we've got a completely new world map layout, which will incorporate aspects of lore that are familiar to those who have played DFO from before the metastasis. In other words, people who played DFO back in the Nexon era more than 5 years ago. Overall, I think it's a little more thought out by having teleportation access to main hubs immediately from Syria's room. With this addition, you should be able to reach any zone in the game from only entering at most a few extra screens, which of course is always convenient. The original Nexon era lore extends to the questing system as well, which at its core is still the same old scenario system that we've gotten used to, having you go through unique dungeon instances like a real story. But they have been supercharged to also include much more APC help and a more cohesive overarching story. Now it's up to you whether or not you actually believe it is better than the old stories, but at the very least I do like the fact that you don't have to do as many dungeons over and over again. Anyway, there's so much here to try out, and what better opportunity for you to try that out than in the Restart Back to Origin event. Make an event character during the event period and level up in these new scenarios. You'll get rewarded at various milestones and even be granted restart coins, which can then be used to purchase other leveling and unlocking related items for your account. This is standard stuff, so I won't delve into it very much, but if you need an excuse to try out new content, well, this is one. To help you out just in general, there is also the Character Day event, which chooses 3 characters throughout the week to be the character of the day. Basically, playing those characters will give you various buffs such as speed and stats. And if you do 10 optimal level dungeons on that character, you'll also get rewarded with interdimensional fragments for your chronicle sets and potions. On the weekend, this offer is extended to all characters, which is particularly nice for raid and other endgame content. And hell, since I've gone over these 2 events, let me just blurt out the last one. And honestly guys, no, seriously, I don't think players have ever been tested as hard as this yet. Of course, I'm talking about the Pro Arad Adventurer 2018. What this is an absolute madman's event where only the top players of DFO can even hope to compete in. These are the task asset of Pro Aradians, and no, hardly any of them are cakewalk. I mean, look at this shit. It's asking us to clear like 120 Anton raids, to do 3,000 hells, and spend 70,000 FP points in just a little more than a month. Like, don't get me wrong, I love DFO, but this is too much for me, is what I would say if I was a fucking casual. Anyway guys, there are no explicit prizes for accomplishing the individual tasks, but after the event period, Neopol will be selecting winners based on everyone's progress, so I guess I'll try my best. Needless to say, I know a lot of people aren't going to be participating, and if I'm being dead honest, the prizes do not seem to justify the effort. Like, look at this terrible First Awakening cut-in picture that they're trying to sell off as cool, but my EP just wouldn't allow me to not at least try it, baby. Aside from that, no real great events this time, more of a exploration portion of the content, which should be the main focus for most of you guys anyway. Speaking of content, I think it's about time I at least mention the elephant in the room for active players, and that is the new and improved swap system. I've talked about it at great lengths by now, but let me just show you. In town, you have access to a new UI. Don't forget to select your swap skill at the top here. Most classes just have the one. You put gear into this window, and whenever you cast the buff skill, it will read the effects of any of the gear that you put into it. If you don't have any gear registered, then instead it will attempt to use the effects of whatever gear that you actually have on. In effect, this makes it such that you can register all of your swap gear here and never have to think about swapping ever again. Neat! I love the fact that they included basically every possible gear into this registry, such as pets and even auras. Good looking out, Neopol. The real nice thing is that even though you have a gear registered, it is still technically in your inventory. So say you want to use something like the Time Traveler's Watch as a buff swap, but also want to sometimes swap to it for the skill reset effects. It doesn't interfere with the swap system. Overall, this is a great addition that, as long as you guys are prepared properly, will have no problems in order to increase your character's strength massively. Know another way to increase your character's strength? How about farming some Econ gear? For those of you guys that caught episode 2 of the Arad Airways podcast, we discussed that a 6 set of this gear is about as strong as a level 85 epic armor set, so it's a big damage increase. Well, now the tedium in actually doing these dungeons is a lot lower. The dungeons are not as annoying by removing a lot of the boss's iframes. You only have to do 3 dungeons of Econ runs a day before the special dungeon is unlocked, and lastly there is a new extra dungeon added called Econ the Strong Ones that is unlocked after the 3 runs that has you fighting against bosses in its own unique system. On top of the eased farming, you also got a massively discounted cost to change your set options after you make it once, and also you have a new means of changing the blue stats on your Econ gear as well. Overall, the gear is a lot easier and it's a lot more manageable to farm. Great change for people looking to get stronger before farming epics. The last thing I'll talk about, again, there was a ton of stuff, so check out the patch notes, or better yet, just check them in game yourself. The last thing is the package sale, Welcome to Hell. It's a very unique costume set that copies the look of popular level 85 and 90 epic sets. Ever wonder what the Metaline plate armor set looks like in avatar form? Well, here you go. And honestly, some of these look pretty awesome. One thing that came with the Origin update is that there are now tradable avatars. Woo! Don't get it twisted though, all of the avatars of the 3 years past are still untradeable. But starting with this package, we now have tradable avatars that you can freely trade to anybody on the server, and with an Arad contract you can even put them in the auction hall. Along with this set is a mediocre pet, a weapon avatar that does give 2% move and attack speed, and finally the title. Oh boy, the title. It's the main draw of this package. It is the 3rd time in DFO's history that we've gotten the skill title. They give +1 to a skill level range ranging from +15 to +35 and up to +2 levels on a particular skill. Basically meaning that if you're lucky enough, you can get +3 on one skill, making it ideal for a swap title. And as expected, good ones are going to break your bank twice over. Just keep in mind that trying to get one yourself will involve using these beads, which, trust me, seriously, trust me, can easily do more damage than literally flushing your gold down a toilet. Now, I won't get into how this package also promotes some insane levels of pay-to-win bullshillery, but I hope you're listening, Neopol, that pro-Aradians such as myself are not happy with your direction on abusing these avatar package sales to make big bucks. I now won't be able to defend you next time someone compares this game to a cell phone cash cow game. All that being said though, I do have high hopes for this update. Mostly still just playing around with some of my new characters and changes whilst trying to stay afloat of all of these immense demands from this masochistic event. But keep in mind guys, this is just Act 1 of the new Season 4 of DFO, and I don't doubt that Act 2 will be coming sometime later this month with the announcement of the already confirmed 2 Lancer classes that we have yet to see. Until then, thanks for watching, and I will catch you knights later.